May God fill this space with love. Amen.
Amen.
I am. 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 I promise you that's not the first time you're going to be uncomfortable today. Mannequin's Demise is an absurdist one-act play that was first performed in 1965. And in 1987, it was performed again for a North Carolina state one-act play competition by a troupe of theater nerds from Hendersonville, North Carolina. It contains that monologue. And in the days and weeks leading up to that competition, those two words had an impact on my core values. Teenage angst? Not really. An understanding that my own I am was not all that interesting. And really, profoundly one-sided. I knew what I knew because it was what I was told. In today's gospel, the Pharisees question Jesus. Teacher, we know that you are sincere and teach the way of God in accordance with truth, and show deference to no one, for you do not regard people with partiality. I'm going to tell you a little story about a person named Katie. Katie played the character opposite mine in Mannequin's Demise. Katie moved to North Carolina from New York. She walked into a group of high schoolers that had spent their lives together. Now, Katie was a year younger than me, but the important piece here that I need to point out is 86 of the 99 people I graduated with had been together since kindergarten. She walked into that group with confidence and knowledge of herself and her interests that appeared from the outside, looking in, to be the answer to every insecurity I felt. Katie moved to Hendersonville from New York City. She grew up in a place I'd only dreamed of and had been exposed to things I did not think I would ever get the chance to see. In the play, her character invites me to join her. Join her in a place removed from the dinner party we were attending. Join her in a place free from conflict. The conflict that they were experiencing as opposing but kindred spirits, struggling with self, with values, and with moral code. After the great I am, my character joined Katie's in a space of observation. We watched as the drama unfolded. And in that space, we were asked, now, where are we? Where are we? Where are we? Whose head is this? And whose title? They answered, the emperor's. Then he said to them, give therefore to the emperor the things that are the emperor's, and to God the things that are God's. Give to God the things that are God's. What is God's? What belongs to God? What belongs to man? Everything and nothing. That's the easy answer. What if we flip materialism, capitalism, all the isms, logic, and values on their head and answer this in another way? Nothing and everything. Does that make you a little uncomfortable? That's okay. The life that Mannequin's demise opened for me was one where my mind split between its thinking self and its feeling self. Acknowledging that feeling is driving my inner being and thinking is helping me navigate those areas where emotion could become dangerous. And suddenly, what I'm left dealing with is a world where the love of God transcends all and gives clarity to the statement, everything is the responsibility of man himself. A community in which we all live together as stewards and benefactors of each individual's contribution to God's creation. Now, that's a lot to swallow. So let me pull this back to Katie and I on the stage in Greensboro, North Carolina. On that stage, in that controlled environment, two people were acting in roles that required an understanding of each other and our independent struggles. The story we were giving to the world ended with the two of us transcending the nonsense or individualized values of life and escaping to an enlightenment, moving us from mannequins to life itself. People applauded, and Katie and I grew up. And today, I stand in front of you. And if things are aligned, Katie's watching right now from home back in New York City. Hi, Katie. In the years that have passed, I've watched as Katie, now Kate, moved to Los Angeles, established herself as a jewelry designer. She moved to Paris, back to LA, adopted the cutest miniature poodle I've ever seen. And I learned of her struggle with breast cancer. I read her story of survival, her story of embracing life, altered by condition. All the time, remembering how enamored I was with her zest for life. Her smile when facing hundreds of people from a community she was brand new to. Her strength of character and push for life, despite that newness, found her way into the literary club, the drama club. She was a cheerleader, a member of our student council. Her strength to excel in everything she entered. I remember thinking, this is what being from New York must be about. I remember crediting her drive to what she had been exposed to before she moved to North Carolina. What I never considered, that I know now, was her strength, although born in New York, came from a place of deep faith. Kate's religion and its foundational base, its heritage, its tradition, embedded a value system within her. She saw light. She was light. She is light. Judaism gave her a foundational strength and understanding of faith and an approach to life that shines with zest and appreciation. When Jesus replied, saying, "Give the emperor what is his," I do not believe he was simply speaking of that coin. I believe he was saying what man has given value may not have the same value in God's kingdom. When we surrender to faith, we surrender to a community of the divine. Another way of thinking about this might be the birth of a child. That child contains nothing, but to someone, it's everything. And are we not God's children? When we create traditions, we in turn create values. And values collide. Man, not God, creates the conflict in those values. The conflict might be the banter at a dinner party, like the one in Mannequins. The conflict might be terrorism, and it might be war. As people of faith, it is our job not to stand in judgment, but to stand as human beings in community, to recognize differences in tradition and values are the rule, not the exception. I want to say that again. Differences are the rule, not the exception. God owning nothing isn't a statement of blasphemy. It's a statement that calls us to God, the Creator, and calls us to peace. His gift to us is our call to one another. His gift is a celebration of independence and difference. That is where the good news originates. God's love transcends all. And it is the origin of community. Now, where are we? Here is where we are. I am standing by and with you. My heart is filled with love and respect for you and your community. Our God, the Father of Abraham, of Isaac, of Jacob, of Mohammed, of Sarah, of Rebecca, of Leah, of Katie, of Brian, of Webb, of Elizabeth, of Della, of Jerry. I am here, guided by your light. Amen.